It wasn't too long ago that I was started up in youth ministry, and I had a lot of students who, for one reason or another, felt confined by their circumstances. I think we've all had a time in life that we felt confined, whether that be because of grief that confines us, whether that be sadness, depression, maybe it's an illness, and that could be something mentally or physically as well. Or maybe it's just something bullying at school. That's not just something, but that's huge. Or maybe it's just that for some students, they got a bad grade and they have to go home and they have to tell their parents, but they feel confined by that guilt, that grief, maybe that fear. And so this book is going to take a look really at those confined circumstances and shed them in a new light, that with each day the sun must appear. And Dr. Price, after reading the book, did something that was amazing, and he endorsed this book, and he wrote a review for the book that really gave me the motivation to continue this project.
After that, I want to talk about your book.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah.
I love your book, and it is about a little girl with hip dysplasia, as you've said, and that's something that we're really working hard to get rid of. But I think your book, when I read it, it touched me. It's more than a children's book. First of all, there's a message there for adults, and the illustrations are beautiful. And I think it's not only a book that will lift the spirits of children who are going through this, but it'll lift the spirits of their parents. And really, I think it's an allegory that could apply to a lot of aspects of life. I think it's one of those books that could be read by anyone and get a message out of it. So I think it's inspired.
I mean, how do you treat dysplasia?
Well, ideally you'd find it around the time of birth, and most of them in the United States are found right at the time of birth, and the children are treated with a harness or something relatively simple. The harness only works, it works 85% of the time, which means still there are kids that doesn't work for that. And
here, because we're going to be rebroadcasting this a little bit later as well, and putting this out through some other channels. And so I'm gonna leave this open here for the next let's say 48 hours. But Doctor, what I'd like to do for you today, actually for maybe one of those developing countries, or maybe one here. I would like to challenge people to go to hipdysplasia.org and to make a gift to the Institute. Truly, when I started looking into what they do, and it's a huge bill of responsibilities that they have. And then I started looking at they're not receiving funding from pharma because there's no, essentially, maybe some pain management or some antibiotics here and there after surgery. There's really not there's not a pill that's going to cure hip dysplasia. And when you're looking at young children, anyway, it's it's more of the method of an art and a science, really. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to help you guys, and I really challenge everybody to get out there, take a look at hipdysplasia.org. I mean, I think you're going to come to the same realization that I did. This is one of those agencies that's extremely transparent with their gifts, and they deliver, and their impact is monumental compared to the amount of money it takes to administer their program. So what I'd like to do is offer a matching grant challenge out to everybody today. So I will match up to $500 in the next 48 hours. If you could donate at hipdysplasia.org, I will match dollar for dollar up to $500, because I'd like to get one of those boxes out to one of these developing countries